Right, we've got Ian Selley here after our 1-0 win against South Park in the Velocity Cup this evening. Would you say it's a game of two halves? And can you explain why it looked like we were very passive and South Park felt, looked like they wanted it a bit more?
Yeah, they're always tough games. These one, I think they made a few changes. We made a few changes, but I think they probably edged it first half. But we were 1-0 up. So yeah, we had a few words at half time because I wasn't particularly happy with defensively how we were. We were trying to ask fullbacks to get nice and high, but the problem was they were probably going a little bit too early, so when that ball did turn over and go to South Park, we sort of got caught out a little bit. So, but the second half we were much better. I think we're always looking to break forward and counter teams, but I think first half, there's a few new boys in the team. I think we were a little bit passive to start, which was a bit disappointing. But I think ultimately these games, they're not easy, but I think the most important thing was getting the result after being beaten at the weekend. So it puts us back on that winning path. And I thought the second half we were much better.
Yeah, you obviously said something that pepped them all up. I've got to say though, Riley Hebich, which you did make mention, that was a really good substitute goalkeeper for Sonny Wheeler, really proved that tonight. They could have been 2 or 3 up very easy in that first half, other than his outstanding saves. So, truth, he's come through, really good to see that. Second half, good performance. Is there anyone else you want to say a shout out for that done well tonight?
No, I think it's always hard when obviously we're getting beaten in the FA Cup on Saturday against Dartford. I watched the VO back, and on the VO we were, I think, maybe it was a little bit harsh with the boys on the Saturday. I thought they won in parts, and it was just 2 moments in that game where we switched off and they scored. But it's always sometimes hard to pick players up for the next game, especially no disrespect to the Velocity Cup. It's not the top of our priority. And just making some changes can disrupt things a little bit. But no, it's about getting minutes for some players. We had a couple of 18s on the bench. Unfortunately, it was a bit too tight to get them on the pitch. But I think talking to the boys after the game, I said you're going to come up against this in the league. There's going to be probably 60-70% of the teams that will shell it and looking for the second ball. So it's about getting the result over the line. We can't always play attractive football. Sometimes teams make it hard for you, so you've got to fight and get the result. So the most important thing was we went a man down towards the back end of the game for sort of 15 minutes, and the boys defended properly and saw the game out.
All about bouncing back and getting that win after a defeat, so well done there, Ian. Just can you give us an update? Obviously there was some key players missing out there. Obviously our centre back was on the bench and we didn't have to use him. Well, obviously Tom Kavanagh was missing, Annual Cisse was missing. I can't think if there's anyone else missing. But can you give us a little bit of an update whether they're likely to be out too long?
No, Norrin will be fine for the weekend. We just precautionary rested him. His knee was a bit sore the last couple of days. Cavs, obviously, is one of our senior players. He's played pretty much every minute from the start of the season, so we decided tonight to rest him ready for Saturday. Anwar is away at the moment, the good thing is the squad we have, we've got players we can pull in and rotate. And like I say with Riley Hebditch today, I thought he was brilliant. He's only 18 years, just turned 18 years old. I think you can see he's a presence in goal, even though he's very young. And for us, he's a good backup for Sonny. If Sonny was ever to get injured, then he could step in and do a good job for us. So, his time as a goalkeeper will come in the future, but we're happy that he's staying with us at the moment. So, it's all about the result, and we're now playing for Sevenoaks on Saturday. Are doing very well at the moment. They got some good results. I think they won today as well. So it's going to be a tough game Saturday. So we have to make sure we do all our homework and do our research and make sure the boys turn out and put on a good display.
Yeah, absolutely. Sevenoaks are a different beast to what we played a month ago. They've recruited some new players. So definitely expect a tough game when we go back down there. So unfair on us to have to pick them out the hat and them, in all honesty. But at least give us a home draw for once. But anyway, we've got to go down there and do. Hopefully the boys will be up for that. There is an opportunity for us to get a great trophy run and pick up one of the bigger teams. So it's not all lost going out the FA Cup. And as you say, when you look back at that Dartford game and you look back at the unjustness of the penalty that we should have had, and a very unlikely sort of goalkeeping error, I suspect,
Yeah.
you know, from Sonny. But two unusual elements for us to happen. Then you've got to say the boys put a good shift in on Saturday, which I think our supporters acknowledged that, Ian, as well.
They did. We saw them in the bar afterwards and stuff, and you know, they were pleased with how the lads worked their socks off. And yeah, when I sort of watched the VO back, you know, we had a few half chances. Maybe we could have got a bit closer and converted, but the penalty was a stonewall penalty. I've watched that a few times, and I think it was just two moments where, you know, when you go up a level, players can tend to be a little bit sharper and finish maybe a little bit better. You know, two moments where we just sort of switched off and they took their chances, and that was pretty much the difference between the two teams on the day. So yeah, we've had a good FA Cup run. The boys have done well. Yeah, now it's time to apply ourselves Saturday with the FA Trophy. And also we're desperately looking to get back into the league games as well to get ourselves back up that table.
Does that concern you a little bit? Because, you know, I love to have cup runs, and I'm so pleased that we have got through, because this is a senior cup. Whatever way you look at it, you do get financially rewarded as well. But, you know, we've done particularly well in the start of the season. But when you start looking at league table, and particularly tonight, some other teams have got fixtures booked in and got a few more points away from us. You know, it does have to be a strong mentality, this team, to actually, when they start looking at the league table, and think, wow, we now got to get back to league action, and we're about 15 points adrift. You know, what's the setup, and what's the management thinking about getting those boys on track for that?
Well, we always look forward to the cups, but the bread and butter is the league. So we've always got an eye on that, and we're always looking, and we're always sort of researching teams in our division. So, you know, unfortunately at the moment, obviously it's great being in these cup competitions, but you know, all the teams in our division will most probably be playing on Saturday. Obviously, most of them play tonight, so we're going to be probably 3 or 4 or 5 games behind some of them. So, yeah, we had it last season at Westfield where we done well in the cup competitions as well. And you know, sometimes you can go under the radar a little bit because everyone's focusing on the top 6, but it's about, you know, getting the results. So as soon as the cups finish and we go back to the league, the boys will be ready for it. I think that's. Yeah, that's we want to do well in the league, and it's the main objective is to get in those playoffs and get promoted. So, you know, it's a long way off for all the teams at the moment. Yeah, there will be ups and downs during the season, but we're confident once we start getting back into the league games, we'll start doing well.
Do you think the squad needs a little bit of bolstering in number-wise?
Yeah, but we're always looking. We're always looking. You know, we were always in contact with players that potentially we could move across. We spoke to 3 this week. So yeah, we're just sort of at the moment, you know, we touch wood, we seem to be okay injury-wise. But I think over the next couple of weeks, you might see 1 or 2 come through the door just to make sure, you know, if we do have a bit of a fixture, a sort of pile up, that we've got the bodies to come in and out and keep it fresh. So yeah, we're always every day of the week I'm sort of speaking to players and you know, looking at how we can strengthen what we got. And yeah, we do have a very strong squad, a good squad at the moment. But yeah, as we said before, you know, if players go off the ball a little bit, you know, we need to make sure we're ready and bring players in that will help the team out and get the results. So you know, that's something as a manager and a management team we're always on. You know, if players do come available and they fit the mould to how we want them to go, then we'll go for them.
Last but not least, got to say, over 180 at a Velocity Cup game is a bit unheard of, in all honesty. You know, not be disrespectful to the competition, it's a senior cup, and hopefully we will take it serious as well, along with other things. But you know, 180 or more against South Park at home is tremendous. You know, it just shows you the support is there for you, Ian, and the team and the management team. They're there, and they'll be there in numbers at Sevenoaks on Saturday.
Yeah, they've been brilliant. The FA Cup Saturday, they were superb. You know, it was great to have a catch up in the bar with them as well, and you know, they enjoyed the game, and yeah, they've really been behind the team. You know, and to have 180 on a Tuesday night in a Velocity Cup is unheard of. You know, South Park, no disrespect, probably won't have brought any at all. You know, maybe 10 or 15, but it's a great turnout, and the lads and the staff do really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ian. See you Saturday.
Cheers.